Welcome to my morning report. Chart appraisals on Friday the 21st of November with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Handtech Markets. The European markets, as we've started, have been fairly positive actually, but they've been driven higher by dovish commentary by Mario Draghi in a speech in Germany. Basically, he's sort of alluding to the fact that the ECB is concerned over the lower expectations of inflation, and they're ready to act, and they're going to act and do everything within their mandate to try and raise inflationary expectations. And it's pretty dovish, as expected. I mean, Mario Draghi continues to try and talk the euro lower, and it has reacted today, 70 odd pips lower to the downside, and having been flat just prior to his speech. So a big reaction to the downside on the euro. That has obviously had an impact on the dollar index, which has now sharply moved higher, but it is still within this range. It's still not yet broken out. The dollar is broadly positive against most FX today, with the exception of the Japanese yen, actually, which has continued its correction lower from yesterday's high, around just underneath 119 it got to, but it's certainly well over 100 pips to the downside since then. What we've seen also is the Aussie dollar finally getting a little bit of support after the weakness that we've seen in the last couple of days on the back of low iron ore prices driving the Aussie dollar lower, but a little bit of support coming in there. As I said, in terms of European equities, certainly the continental equities are strongly higher. DAX and CAC are both over 1% higher. FTSE, not too bad, but lagging behind. 0.5% on the upside there for FTSE, but certainly markets are reacting strongly to Draghi. There is the issue though that you've got Jens Weidmann speaking at 10:15. Jens Weidmann is the German finance minister, who is obviously one of the chief reasons why the ECB hasn't been able to drive QE forward, or certainly sovereign debt purchases in the eurozone forward, and he's coming out with comments at 10:15 today, and it could well be that he pours a little bit of cold water on this move that we've seen earlier today. So that sort of means that there's pretty much not a great deal going on in terms of economic announcements today, other than these two ECB speakers. There is Canadian CPI at 130. That's expected to just increase slightly from 2% to 2.1% for year on year. But other than that, there's nothing really on the economic calendar. So that takes me to my chart of the day, which is silver. I've been looking obviously at this rebound in gold recently, and silver has also had a rebound, but not in any sort of sense in terms of the medium-term improvement, because gold has broken through some key levels, but silver, actually, if you look on this, is just unwound back towards this 4-month downtrend. And also it's underneath the key resistance now overhead at 1666, which was the old floor from October. Not only that, you've got this 21-day moving average, which has been a very good basis of resistance throughout, and that is basically where the silver price is currently trading at. If you look at these momentum indicators on silver, again, they're pretty much just unwound and oversold position, really. RSI is sort of now moving sideways underneath 50. MACD lines are struggling to really get going again. The only real sort of chink of light, I suppose you'd say, is the stochastics, which are rising, but other than that, the pretty much across the board, their longer, medium to longer term indicators are still very negative on silver, and just suggesting that this is a rally that will be sold into. In terms of the intraday hourly chart, it's pretty much basically flat, really, looking for a breakout either way over the last few days. Sort of formed this range between 1587 up towards 1650, and it's basically traded within that range over the past 4 or 5 days. So we are looking for a breakout, but at the moment the intraday chart shows a pretty neutral scenario going on there. But as I said, the trend is your friend, so you'll probably be looking for a downside break anyway still, and any sort of rallies back towards that 1650 towards 1666 area, I suppose, is still a chance to sell. Anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading on silver, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.